What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ham House Sports. It's What I'm at, and this is
Steve.
our Big Mac. Tell me what we got going on today.
This is What's Up with Ham House Sports. It is our monthly episode where it has two kind of meanings. It's What's Up with Ham House Sports, Little Matt, Big Matt, but it's also too kind of like what's going on in the hobby. What's up with Ham House Sports? And so we want to kind of keep you guys encouraged. We just got back from Atlanta Culture Collision. So today we're going to talk about Culture Collision. We're going to talk about a recap of 2023 and a huge milestone we just hit at Ham House Sports.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about baseball prospecting. But one of the coolest things for us now is when we go to shows and we just run into people. And it's like, people say, hey, and they stop us. They say, what's up? Little Matt got to take some cool pictures with some kids, and he gets to do some special trades with some kids. And it's just awesome. So we want to just be kind of an encouragement in the hobby for those of you that love sports and sports cards like we do. But before we get going on today's episode, we wanted to give a special shout out to somebody that we are praying for and that we are cheering on and championing. So Matthew, talk about
one of those really cool kids I did get to meet at the show. His name's Owen and Alex. Owen's Card Shop on Instagram. We were set up to him at a trade night with him at the National, and talked to him a little bit. Just
met him in Dallas too, right?
Met him in Dallas. He was at the Dallas show. Just super nice kid, and he has some awesome cards. Go check him out on his page.
But after the Dallas
show, he was going to watch his favorite team play, and he got in a tragic car accident, and he was in critical condition at first, but he's doing better now.
Yeah.
And just wanted to let you know that Ham House Sports, we're praying for you, and we hope for the best, man.
Yeah. So shout out to Owen, man. We're praying for you as you continue your therapy, and really just look forward to being able to see you at the show again, man. So your persistence and your testimony is an encouragement to us. So thank you so much for watching, buddy. And we're pulling for you, man. So that said, Matthew, 2023, like you nor I really thought that this would ever be what it's become.
Not at all.
And it's just been so neat. I mean, and there's so many different aspects we could talk about, but it's when people call us and say, hey, I've got some cards I want you to look at. Or when people reach out to us to help with pricing or grading or whatever, or when you've got young kids who say, like, teach me what you've learned. And I had multiple dads come to me and they're like, dude, my son just loves following little Matt around just because of how much they learn from like how you negotiate and how you deal and how you think about cards. So it's just all of it is just so overwhelming and humbling for me. And I'm just grateful for it. But that said, we just crossed a major milestone.
We did.
So what was that milestone?
That milestone, $200,000 in sports card sales. And most of that came in 2023. But we had a big sale last week to finish it off.
That kicked us over.
Yeah.
So I truly can't believe that out of our home and going to a couple shows that we've done over $200,000 in sales of sports cards. Now, of course, we bought those cards. So that $200,000, when you hear us say that, that's not saying $200,000 in profit, but it's been fantastic for us. And now we own cards we never thought we'd own. We're in a place right now where, because we've grown our inventory, pretty much everything we own is profit from our original kind of investment and growth. We've had to pull some funds out for taxes, which Lil Matt's learning about and he loves. He hates seeing money come out of the system, but
show me the money.
I know, but we're having to learn. We're having to grow. And so that said, another little milestone or update is I am in the process of a transition in my professional life. And so I'm probably going to be slowing down a little bit with Ham House Sports as far as how many cards we're rolling through. So ahead of this, about 6 months ago, tell them what we did for you.
Yep. So about 6 months ago, this was right before the National, and Big Matt's like, little Matt, you've helped us sold a bunch of cards before the National and get some cash, and I'm proud of you. Here is a few $100s to help kick off your business. And of course, I already had some money because I mowed some grass and all that stuff. So I paired my money with the money that Big Matt gave me, and I started buying cards. And I was buying Trevor Lawrence's, I was buying Justin Fields, I was buying all the cards you could think of. But I just hit a big milestone myself. I am very close right now to $9,000 just off that $400.
Yeah. So starting with 400, little Matt is up to around 9 and is always actively kind of looking for new cards and new stuff. And if you guys saw on Instagram, little Matt did a video with Colax. Is it Colax? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Colax.
Colax. Yeah. And with David there at the Atlanta Card Show. we're starting to get a bunch of new followers and new folks that are connecting with us. And so little Matt was just talking about collecting what you love, and it's been a fun journey. So all that said, great recap. We're excited. 2024 is going to be big for us. We're probably going to do, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 big card shows this year.
Yeah,
and
so
that'll
Atlanta.
We're probably going to try Nashville. We're probably going to try Chantilly if we can get there.
National,
definitely the National in Cleveland, and then maybe try to figure out one other show that we can pull off.
If you know the other show that you think Ham House should go to, comment down below.
Let us know, because we're trying to, but it's going to be tough because little Matt is starting middle school, travel basketball, middle school baseball. So schedules are going to be difficult. Like I said, I'm in a new transition season with career stuff. But all that said, really excited about it still.
Yep.
And we're moving like really into baseball, like pretty much.
I think I will share this. Speaking of 2023, I mean, since the Dallas show was in September of 2023, I mean, we've sold all of our cards, all of our football, even some of our baseball, but we've really slimmed down our inventory to cards that we really like and cards that some of the cards we picked up in Atlanta.
Yeah, so baseball's kind of becoming our focus, prospecting, stuff like that, but it's been good.
Yeah.
So that said, let's talk about Culture Collision, Matthew.
Yep.
So we went to the Culture Collision card show in Atlanta. It was our first big show since Dallas of last year. What was your overall vibe for Culture Collision?
I mean, I feel like at the National, we got kind of spoiled, and we had, all the other shows are going to be like this. And then we went to Dallas, and we're like, it's not going to be this way. And then since we thought Dallas was not that great, we went to Atlanta, and we saw actually great energy there. I mean, I thought that the Bowman energy, people were paying so strong for Bowman on the show floor, and people were looking for like the right guys. I feel like I just felt an energy of Bowman that I haven't felt in a while.
Well, it's seasonally, right? So one of the key things about sports cards is it's seasonal. So right now you're in the middle of basketball season. Everybody's kind of just sitting on the sidelines watching who does well or whatnot. And guys will jump in and out. You're headed into baseball season, so everybody is hype on baseball right now, buying up ahead of the season for spring training. And then you've got football. It's the Super Bowl is next weekend, and so you really just have kind of Purdy and Mahomes, the big names that are left. But I'm saying these guys are still playing, so everybody's kind of starting to speculate on off-season stuff with Love, Herbert, Stroud, Burrow coming back from injury. So there's so many different aspects of the card hobby that are important to know, but seasonal stuff is so key. And so this is where you have to have an understanding of what season you're in order to know what to sell a card at, understand where it's trending, and all this kind of stuff. So we felt like we had that going into Atlanta, and we feel like we did really, really well.
Yeah, I thought the Atlanta show, I mean, probably the second best show we've ever had other than the National.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a great show.
Those guys did a great job putting it on. It was very well organized. The venue was great. Right across from
the Braves Stadium. They had a basketball court there. It was just really, really good.
Yeah, it was very well done. So bravo and kudos to the Culture Collision team. Great show. We thoroughly enjoy it. Would highly recommend anybody going to Culture Collision if you've not been before. But at the show, we had a couple of specific goals. One of those was to kind of get rid of some
lower end Bowman
inventory that we had, as well as some key vintage stuff. I wanted to upgrade Ham House's 1953 Topps kind of key player set. We've got the Jackie, the Mantle, the Mays, the Satchel Paige, and we've now upgraded all of those at least a grade.
Yep.
So that's a key thing for us. That's a super kind of, I don't know, that's personal to me. It's just, I love that set.
Yeah, it's great.
So we did that, and then we bought a lot of Bowman. We got into some great cards. We actually traded out of some of our bigger Bowman, but the big pickup for us at Atlanta was
Jackson Holiday True Gold First Bowman Auto PSA 10.
Yeah, so it's a monster card. It is the biggest card we've ever purchased outright. Is that a true statement?
Very true statement.
Yeah, so we paid the highest we've ever paid for a card. But the cool thing was, like we said earlier, is all of the money we're spending now is all profit from previous sales. So it's somewhat justified, at least in our minds, because it's all something that we have grown instead of something we just kind of pulled out of our pocket, which is a key way of looking at it. Now, that said, when we got it, our intent was not to hold it that long.
No.
because
it's just a big card. And we like dealing with the cards from 500 to 3K.
Yeah. And so this was too big of a card. So we did end up working out a cash plus trade on it, and just a cool situation. But that said, let's talk a little bit. We want to kind of move into the next phase.
We did go to the Cards HQ trade night in Atlanta.
We did. Yeah. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah. So we went to the Cards HQ trade night. We were actually probably 10th, 15th
in line.
Yeah. We got there a little bit early. But it was pretty cool. The shop layout was awesome.
This is for
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson, sports card investor, opened up a brick and mortar shop right around the corner from Brave Stadium called Cards HQ. They've obviously put a ton of work into it, a ton of thought. Very well done. It presents super well. The shop has a lot of interesting kind of aspects to it, from video rooms to a live break table. There's just a lot of neat stuff. There's a lounge with some televisions and stuff. And the way they have the cards laid out, it's not your traditional glass cases. It's kind of some A-frame stand-up cases.
Yeah, but the shop was huge, like everybody expected it to be. But it was very well ran. The whole trade down was awesome. They had food, drinks. Carter and Ryan, they're the guys who helped start up the Jeff. They're awesome people, and they did a very well job setting it up. Yeah,
so it was great. So being in Atlanta, Culture Collision, Cards HQ, that was a good vibe for us. We got to see a lot of folks we know. Card Collector 2, Ryan was there. It was great to see Ryan. Got to see some of the team from Kentucky Roadshow with that crew that was there. Baseball Bro Sports Cards, Gary and his crew. Just a lot of dudes that we know. And now that we're in the hobby, kind of like we start to know the different folks, and so that part of it's just fun. It's like
we know the buyers on the card. So if we we know we have a buddy who buys Mickey Mantle. You got Mickey Mantle, I'm sending it to my buddy, and we know who buys what, and so we like hooking our buddies up.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where it does benefit you to have connections, but you have connections because you build connections, and so you build connections by just watching. Like Matthew, used to watch Josh Roth and Card Collector 2 and all these guys used to watch their stuff. And so when he would see him at a show, he'd go up and speak to him. And then you do that over and over. And it's a repetition thing. Then you start to kind of build relationships with these guys. You start to, they know you by name. They know you by your Instagram handle. And then from there, it just branches out. And so the card hobby can be a very, it's like a big family, and it's super neat. So when you see opportunities to go to shows like this, if you can, would encourage you to. And if you're wanting to get connected, just get connected. Watch people's videos that you like, comment on them, share them out, be a supporter of other people. That's what we did. And so now it's just cool. We've got respect in the hobby, and we've got other people that are supporting our stuff. So that's it. But let's go back to Atlanta and talk specifically about prospects. So baseball prospecting, Matthew, is the concept of where you're buying a player before they've ever debuted in the major leagues. And it's an interesting dynamic because there's a lot of people kind of competing for these cards because of the parallels and so forth. There's not many of them. And this is it's a growing part of the hobby that I think a lot of people are starting to understand, but you have to know some stuff in order to not get burned. So that being said, Matthew, with this holiday, big purchase for us, how many Jackson Holiday cards have we owned in total? Do you think?
20.
It's like 25.
20. I was about to say 28. 25.
Yeah. So over the course of the last year, we've bought and sold. Autos. We've bought and sold about 25 Jackson Holiday cards. And one of the things that's really interesting about prospects is you have the ability while they're in the minor leagues to kind of buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. This is our strategy. Yep. Some guys buy early and hold until debut. Some guys buy and hold until they debut in AA or AAA. We kind of like to go in and out, in and out, in and out. Excuse me. And over time, if you can buy and sell properly, you make enough money on that one prospect.
We've done that with Churio. We've done that with Holiday. We've done that with Joe Williams.
James Wood.
We've done that with tons of people. Jason Dominguez.
Isaac Cole Young. Dominguez. Mm-hmm. So our philosophy and strategy is to buy and sell guys and take the profit that you make off that guy, and then you can put it back into that guy. And so that for me kind of keeps it in my mind, it's like a straight path. I know that if we've made $500 on Jackson Holiday, now I'm okay to go buy a $500 Jackson Holiday card because then that card is basically all profit. That way, if it goes down, it's okay. The problem with buying and holding is these prospects tend to fluctuate with their performance, if they get caught up or
In the
not.
past year, Churio Refractor Auto PSA 10 has been from $1,800 to $900, and right now they're 14. They're just going up, down, up, down. It's crazy.
Yeah, so when you pay attention to a prospect and you pay attention to their market, you can kind of get in and out. And that being said, heading into spring training is one of the best times in all of baseball to be
Speaking
buying.
of spring training, we
Yep.
might be heading
Yeah,
there.
we're actually trying to work on a trip to spring training. So Matthew, let's go ahead and close out today's episode with Ham House Sports top 10 baseball prospects. Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. So here we go. So these are prospects that we like based on a few different factors: the team they play for, how old they are, their statistics, what the hype,
Position they play.
position, the hype and the hobby around them. So you can look at a lot of different factors. So the number one guy that we actually do not own an auto of right now that we are trying to pick an auto of up is
Matt Shaw.
Matt Shaw. So this is a refractor first Bowman. But Matt Shaw was a 2023 Bowman draft prospect.
13th pick, I think.
13th pick.
No, was he looking back? 11th or 12th or
13th overall to the Chicago Cubs. We really like Matt Shaw. He's young. He still has some time in the minor leagues. We're having a hard time finding an auto of him, but
Does he have a true blue?
Yeah, he's one of our top 10. I would put him at number 10. Matt Shaw,
number 10,
top prospect. Okay, now moving into the next. This is a guy that we've been on for a while, but we just picked this card up in Atlanta. This is a Jason Dominguez, 2020 first Bowman. Now talk about Dominguez, Matthew.
So Dominguez, he's one of those guys we made money on. So I mean, that card's practically free.
Yeah.
We had a chance to own a blue Dominguez PSA 10, but we ended up trading it out of it for some other good prospects. But Dominguez, he climbed the charts really high. He was able to debut last year and hit a home run off Verlander on his first hit, ironically. But we really believe in Dominguez, and you can't go wrong with the Yankees prospect.
So Dominguez debuted last year, hit 4 home runs in just a few games, and then got hurt. So he's on IR right now, but he'll be coming off this summer. Yankees prospects, big market. Always pay attention to big markets. Jason Dominguez for us is our number 9 prospect, and we currently have the refractor auto PSA 10. All right, number 8. Big bat.
Lazaro Montes. We've owned a few Lazaros.
This is a true gold refractor,
gold
PSA 10.
We were able to pick that up in Atlanta and trade. We didn't want to trade the card that we traded for it, but Baseball Bros Sports Cards had to do it. He just had to.
Yep. So this is
a sick card.
Yeah. So Montez is a big bat. All right. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got a ton of power.
And they compare him to Mark McGwire.
Yeah. So a lot of guys talked about Montez kind of like a Mark McGwire type. He's got a really big bat. Now, this is his gold. We are actually in negotiations on a trade for this card. And in the trade, we would get maybe a Montez blue or a Montez refractor. So one of the things in prospecting that we like to do is if you get a bigger card of a gold or an orange or a red, trade down out of that card into the same prospect so that if you can get a cash plus trade situation, maybe that card then is free to you based on your investment. But Lazaro Montez, we've got at number 8. He's still young. He's international, huge bat, a lot of upside here. We really like Montez.
Number 7. Technical.
All right, we're good. Go ahead.
Technical difficulties. All right. Rhett Lauder. Rhett Lauder is a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. He was the 7th pick in this year's draft. A lot of people watched the game where Paul Skeens and him went head-to-head. And a fun fact that I always like to tell people is in the 6th inning of the game, the score is 0-0. Paul Skeens had already thrown 99 pitches, and Rhett Lauder's only at 55 pitches.
Yeah, so he has a lot of control, a lot of good placement. He's got some nasty stuff. Rhett Lauder is a sneaky prospect. We don't usually do pitchers, but he played at Wake Forest, which is in North Carolina. We watched him in the College World Series. Really like Rhett Lauder. This is a true blue auto PSA 10. We actually have a few of these, but Rhett Lauder is a guy we're looking for. And you can get him relatively cheap. He doesn't have as much ceiling as some of the bat prospects, but still a great opportunity. So that's number 7. Number 6.
Jet Williams. Jet Williams is one of those guys that, I mean, we've sold so many of his cards for practically free. We are free into this one. But we love Jet. Jet is a great prospect for the Mets. Shortstops always sell, and you can't go wrong with an orange.
So Jet was a first-round draft pick, number 14 overall, high school kid. So think about prospects. When you have a high school kid, you've got a young guy that has a few years to learn his own body and to learn the dynamics of playing professional baseball. So it versus a guy that went to college and he's older. These professional major league teams, they like to get guys, who are going to be able, to debut in the early 20s to give them a long, span and career. Whereas these college players, they're 22, 23, they haven't debuted yet. They become more utility players often. And so your top prospects are generally going to be young international prospects or high school draft picks that go and skip over college. Generally speaking, you still do have some great college players, Wyatt Langford, Enrique Bradfield, Dylan Cruz. You're going to see that Skeens, mostly pitchers in that case. But anyway, Jet Williams is a solid player. If you don't have any, you can still get his refractor auto, very competitively priced, kind of $150 raw. Here's one raw that we have that we're selling right now. It's a refractor auto, probably $150. But Jet is a great value buy right now. He's also a shortstop in a big market in New York. So again, love Jet. Number 5.
Spencer Jones.
So again, big market, New York City, New York Yankees. He is a first-round draft pick. He was drafted 25th overall in the 22 draft. He's got some issues with his plate. Huh?
He was drafted 5th?
25th.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got some issues with his plate discipline and stuff, but he has incredible upside. So huge bat. He's an outfielder. You've got massive exit velocity, which is how hard the ball comes off the bat.
Just look at Anthony Volpe. He did barely anything last year, and his car was,
he hit 20 home runs as a rookie.
He hit 240, and it was like, Anthony Volpe's him. Dude, this kid does anything this year, this card will be to the moon.
Yes, I know. So that Spencer Jones is number 5 on our list. All right.
4.
Number 4. Which one do you want to go?
I saw you got a top one.
Okay, number 4. All right, number 4, Samuel Basallo. So Samuel Basallo is with the Orioles. You can see Big Matt like the Orioles here. He has climbed the prospect rankings very quickly.
Crazy. I don't think he was on the top 100 list last year, and right now he is.
He wasn't
number 16 on the list.
18-year-old. I think he made it to AA last year. Again, awesome upside with him. Great bat. He's just a pure hitter. The problem is with the Orioles is Adley Rutschman is locked in at catcher. Basallo's a catcher first baseman, so there's just not a ton of potential for him to move around the field. Excuse me. It's going to be all about his bat. And if they can get him at in a DH,
his bat is good.
His bat is solid. But we love Samuel Basallo, pretty good value right now too. And there's also the possibility that he could get traded to a different market, and with the hype around him, would be an even higher prospect. All right, number 3,
Xavier Isaac.
This is the Xavier Isaac True Gold PSA 10. Isaac is a North Carolina guy. Right. And he went to high school in North Carolina. He was a high school draft pick. He was 9th overall in the 22 draft. He was hurt his senior year, so he kind of went under the radar. Last year started to turn it up. He's with the Tampa Bay Rays organization. He did make it up to high A, AA last year. Love Isaac. Again, first baseman, huge bat, great hit tool. One of our favorites.
Yeah. Number 2, kind of a no-brainer right here. Jackson Churio. What's not to say about this kid? If you've ever watched Ronald Acuna Jr. play, then you're basically watching this kid play. He is very similar play size, I'd say, to Corbin Carroll and Ronald Acuna. Amazing speed, got a killer bat, high exit velocity, kind of like Spencer Jones, has great plate discipline, and he's just.
So one of the things about prospects you want to look at is how well they hit doubles. Because guys that hit doubles will have power, home runs, or whatever. And you've got guys like this with a lot of speed. So, Churio is just a huge upside prospect. The problem is he came out pretty hot and pretty well established, so his price point has always been high. So, for example, a Jackson Churio refractor, this is not a refractor. This is just a base. But let's say this were a refractor like the Basallo refractor. You could pick up the Basallo for $300, and this is in a 9. Whereas the Churio refractor in a 9 is probably going to be $700-800. So you can start to see kind of the range of prospects there, but that's where that one lands. And then last but not least,
I don't think there's any question about this, but Jackson Holiday, I mean, he is the best prospect on baseball and every single list you see. I mean, he is just a phenomenal hitter. And from what we've heard, he lives, eats, and breathes baseball.
Yeah. Jackson Holiday, #1 overall draft pick, son of Matt Holiday, and he more than likely will make a debut with the Orioles this year. We have loved collecting and buying and selling Jackson Holiday off and on, throughout the last year or so. But those are our top 10 prospects. And listen, we're not saying these are the best baseball players. We're saying that these are the guys that we personally believe in. We love to follow them. We've invested in these guys, done well with these guys, and we're kind of rooting them on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, Matthew, closing up, Ham House Sports, anything, final thoughts?
Yep. Atlanta was great. But this month, I'm going to be focused on I think we have one more month until the Bowman hype gets crazy. So I'm going to focus on buying some key Bowman cards. Isaac, Basalo are 2 guys I'm looking for more of. But if I can buy a few more of those, if I can sell some cards I want to sell, then I'll be more than happy to go buy as much Bowman as I want. So I'm looking for Bowman right now.
What's the release date?
May 12th.
May 12th. Cool. We got some time before then.
Bowman.
Yeah. Be a big release with our guy,
Walker
Jenkins, coming down the pipe. So, guys, thanks so much for watching Ham House Sports. Little Matt and Big Matt signing off.
Peace.